Hi, I'm Joe. This is a review of the Eargo 7 hearing aids. This is my fourth Eargo hearing aid version. I started out with the Plus, then went to the Neo, eventually the 5, and now the 7. I've had both the 5 and 7 that I've been using back and forth in order to be able to do a better comparison of how they're different. So I'd like to go into, there'll be several pieces of this where I talk about the various parts of the hearing aid, the experience. The first part is the actual device itself. They come in a small charge case like this. It uses a standard USB charge. And the devices themselves are actually quite small. You can see right here, I'm holding it by its removal thread. This thing is very teeny. I'll bring it up next to me. You can see it next to my glasses. It's very, very small. It goes entirely into your ear except for this small thread. I'm holding it against my shirt so you can see it. And that kind of lays against the bottom part of your ear and is extremely hard to see. They're not invisible by any means. You could see it. I was holding it up. It is clearly not invisible. This is not what they look like. They look like what I showed you before. However, when you're wearing them, they are functionally invisible. Nobody sees them, and they fit entirely into the ear canal except for that removal thread. One of the huge advantages of that is they're in there and they're picking up the sound that your ear picks up the same way that it would get to your eardrum. And so therefore the three-dimensional sound is remarkably accurate. I wear them when listening to Dolby Atmos movies in my home theater, and all of the effects are there. You can hear absolutely everything from the extremely deep sounds and up until the higher pitch sounds too. So what's the purpose of these hearing aids? Primarily what they do is they restore the sound that is what you hear most in life. All of the just the normal things like voices, clatter of dishes and water running, etc. TV is very enhanced with them in comparison to what you would get in your hearing loss right now. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'm going to go over a little bit of that too here. What I experienced with getting the hearing aids is it brought back just normal conversation, just normal experience, eliminated so much of the guessing game that you get into with what did that person really say, trying to pick up in context words that you did hear. Essentially, under normal circumstances, unless a person's whispering, and sometimes with a quiet voice, I still have trouble. But you just don't. You're part of the conversation again. You're right there. Everything that's going on is heard by you, and it's just simply returning as much of the normal hearing as you can imagine through a device. Clearly nothing this small can reproduce all sounds and bring all those sounds back. You need something really huge in order to be able to reproduce all sounds. But for what you need for communicating with people, what you need for hearing TV, most music, it's right there and it brings it all back for you. So what makes the 7 special? They have a couple of additional features that they've added to them that adapt automatically to your circumstances. So if you're in a very loud circumstance, it actually quiets that background noise and makes it easier to hear those people that are close to you. It also is water resistant, which is something that I actually lost a hearing aid. I had one of my aids that got wet because I was caught in a downpour, and water just got into my ear and just flooded my ear and just damaged the hearing aid beyond use. The 7s have the water resistant rating that will keep that from happening. The rating is under a meter of water for under 30 minutes, which is I've never gone swimming with them. I don't plan on going swimming with them. It's just not a great idea, I don't think. But nonetheless, I've also often almost walked into the shower because you really don't know you're wearing them. You put them on and there they are, and you hear things. And unless you notice the water running in the shower a little bit louder than you think you should, you realize you have the hearing aids in. And before doing anything like that, I always take my fingers and go like this and put them in and say, oh yeah, there they are, something's in my ears, or there's nothing there. One of the very cool things that the 5s, 6, and 7s share in common are removable microphone covers. So you can barely see it. I'm going to bring it up a little closer. You can kind of see it. It's out of focus. But anyway, so there's this little thing right here. You can see it in my hand that comes off of the device and allows you to clean it, also change it, and they have different pedals that go on there, and you can see right here, and that just snaps on and off, and it's that easy. I mean, it's like I've got some practice and I'm not afraid of using them. But anyway, so they can go on and off like that, and it allows you to clean it, use a little brush. And they also have now a technique using blue tack and a alcohol wipe to keep them nice and clean. And keeping them clean is really crucial. You'd be amazed at the difference. Just a little bit of earwax that accumulates around or in some of the sound holes of the device really can change your experience with the Eargos. Upgrading from the 5 to the 7 was relatively easy. I initially had some trouble, and of course, because I had at the time over 5 years of experience with the Eargos, I said, "Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'll just do this." And so I did that, and I struggled along, and just simply contacting Eargo set everything straight, and I was up and running in actually minutes of contacting them. So their support is terrific, and I highly recommend that you don't go it alone like I was. I was just not getting the sound that I expected, and they were not working as well as the 5s, and I expected them to be better. Sounds were harsh and kind of strange, and once I dealt with the technical folks at Eargo, which you can get through the app or a telephone call, everything was, they sent me a sound file that I uploaded into them, and bingo, everything is fine. So tech support is absolutely terrific. Now, comparing the 7s and the 5s, they're pretty subtle. The 5s are very, very, very comfortable, as are the 7s. Obviously, they're the same exact format. You can't tell the difference, except the 7s say 7 on them. The sound is subtly clear. I'm an audiophile, and so sound is very important to me. And I would say that overall, if I had to give the Eargo 5, let's say an 8, I'd give the 7s a 9. The sound is not perfect, like I said before, but it's very, very good, and it's actually getting very close to indistinguishable from what I hear when I'm using my headphones with a equalizer software that recovers my hearing for me. They're not the same. They're a little bit sharper, and that's what I would say. The 5s are a little sharper. Television is a little more echoey with the 5s than it is with the 7s. It's a smoother sound with the 7s. So one of the things they also did is with the app. The app is actually quite good. Allows you to adjust most of the features. After you do the sound test and you create a customized hearing profile for yourself, after you're using them for a while, you might decide you want a little bit more treble, a little less treble, a little more bass, a little less volume, a little more volume. All of that's adjustable and can be stored permanently in the hearing aids. And you can also use the program to adjust the volume and some of the other settings as well on the fly. You just take take your phone and you hold it about like here, away from you. Can you see it? Oh yeah, right about here. and it just produces a sound that you can't hear, but the hearing aids pick up, and they make the adjustments for you. So in conclusion, are the sevens worth more than the fives? In my opinion, they certainly are. The increased in sound quality, the slightly better battery life, which is nice. It allows you to go essentially all day. I've never had them run out of power. And also the fact that they do have that strong water resistance really just makes a big difference for me.